wine. Hello. Got a weird angle here. I'm trying to get this to go right. Hello, Sandra. And where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Duh. Okay. I'm not doing well tonight, I guess. All right. There it is. Hello, Annie.
Hello, Connie.
And hello, Mary.
Hi, Sandra.
And I'm hearing a little bit of the whine, so I may have to get up here in a second and bring the four-legged person or four-legged animal into my room. But he's being fairly quiet. He's just whining a little bit. But if he barks, he has to come in. So tonight, we are going to go over this patterns. So, but I wanted to say hello to Mary and to Annie. And I've got the items right here with me, so I can show you the difference of these patterns. Now, these patterns, I have them in paper form, but this was a PDF that I created, and I printed it. And this one, I can scan it and print it. So if anybody wants them, I have them. So, but as you can see, I'm going to open up my Facebook so I can show you guys, share the screen with you. So,
yeah.
If I can do this right, duh. Okay. Home. So I want to show you the pictures as well as the picture of this. So I'm going to share the screen. Hold on. That's not what I wanted. Okay. So there is the dress. Let me bring that up. Oops, that's not the right thing. Is it still sharing? Yeah. Okay, so here is the dress. And as you can see from here, can you guys see? Okay, so there is the straps, and I added this. Made it thicker and put a shell on the outside as well as around the inside. And then this part, if you look, it's a little different than this, and it was too low. I did not feel comfortable with it being that low, so I built it up on this underneath my arm. And then instead of going, this stops probably right here, and then it starts the skirt. I wanted mine to go down further, so I kept going until I got it to where I wanted to go. And then this one is not as full as mine. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Okay, so you can see that mine is a lot fuller down here, and I just added, huh?
You should be able to grab the picture and pull up. Just the picture itself. There you go.
Yeah. So it is fuller here than this one, and all I did was add this. Didn't the pattern doesn't say to add to it. The only thing that makes it look like this is the stitch changed, and I added stitches so that it would ruffle, and I think that's the look that I was going for. Sorry, you can see my bruise on my leg. Still not gone, but it's almost gone. But yeah, so you can see where I did the shells, and I added underneath the arm here because I wanted it up higher. Now, this pattern is really strange because, thank you, Sandra, it has you make, this is the top. And I made that, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, how is that the top of this dress? Okay. This and this is right. Let me go back to this. Oops. Oh. It's this part right here, or this part, and the side parts are the straps. I'm like, well, that's a strange way
so it's
to
a
start
square. You're doing it
pattern.
in a square, but it doesn't. Okay, I got it. There's that white in the center is actually a hole.
Yes, that's a hole, and this is the straps. Well, when I put that over my head, I knew I was going to be adding to it. I added a row around, and then I put the shell because it was like way down to here. You can see where it went all the way down to here. I am not wearing a sundress that low. So, yeah. In fact, it was right here. See this dark line? That was where it wanted me to it to go down to. I'm adding to that because that's not going to happen. So, okay, hold on. I gotta go get him. He's going to bark until he wakes my husband up. Hold on. You can't come in yet. You will grab stuff. He's all excited. Yes, I get to come into the craft room. And it changed, so he's like all excited. Because I moved everything around. Okay. So that's the changes that I did with the skirt. Now, I kind of did the stitches that they said to do for it. I did 2 double crochets, 1 chain, 2 double crochets in the same stitch, and then I would skip 2 and do it again, and skip 2 and do it again, and that's how I got this. Let me see if I can expand it. That's as far as I can go, and that's how I got this look. So, yeah, that was it. Thank you guys. So I do have this pattern. Like I said, I changed it, and it doesn't look the same as this. Now, this pattern, let me go back to this here. Okay. What are you doing, dog? You can't go in there. Okay. So this is the pattern was just for this. Just for the cardigan. That's all the pattern is for. And Let me show you. Okay, so that's the back of it. And it's just a rectangle. So it's a complete rectangle. Let me show you right here. So you can see the pattern comes out to a rectangle, and then you fold it and hook them together, which, yes, which makes the armhole and the cardigan. But then you have to go around the arms and the whole part of the rest of the outline to give you this the border.
Hey, Lacey.
And hello, Lacey, welcome in. So this is it's all written out, but this is the pattern, this diagram. And let me go over this because let me stop sharing. I'm going to change. Okay, so if you know how to read these, to me, it's not hard, but I can show you what I'm what these mean. Okay, so the little loops. Let me get this close enough. Okay, so these little loops across here, those are chains, and then these are double crochets. So when it goes straight down with a slant, can you see that? That is a double crochet. So this pattern is just chains and double crochets. And it's in a 7-row repeat that will give you, oh, my dog just clicked my light off. This will give you that look. Let me show you. I've got it right here. So it gives you this this pattern. That's your like your. It's not really a diamond, but that
Well,
gives
it
you
actually,
your
it
pattern.
kind of is a diamond when you're back away from it.
Yes, it does. It looks like a diamond when you're back away from it. So on your first row, you start with, and it repeats, and you get. I got to where I didn't have to use the pattern after a couple of rows, after a couple of times through it, because I'm like, this is easy. It's just 3 chains, 3 double crochets, 3 chain, 1 double crochet, 3 chains, 3 chains, and it goes all the way. The next one is double crochet, 2 chains, 5 double crochets, 5 chain, 5 double crochets. And then the next one is 3 chains, 3 double crochets, 3, 1, 3, 3, 3. Then it's 2, well, it's 3 actually, because it's 3, 1, 3. So it's how it's centered, how you do it, that gives you that look like this right here. So you have your 1, 3, 5, 3. Wait.
5, 3, 1.
Yeah. So 1, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 1.
Yay!
And that gives you,
baby, love you.
It gives you that look of the diamond. And this was done with mandala sequins, but I ran out. I was able to make it all even all the way to the bottom with it. This whole cardigan was done with the what just happened? Got darker.
Okay.
Huh. That's weird. My screen got darker. So this whole cardigan was done with the sequins, but I had 6 skeins. I got these from Joe's one of the cells, And so I only had 6. So I thought, well, if I have to, I'll buy more. So,
I have a question. When you
yeah.
measure that out the cardigan before you attach the edges, how big of a
Mhm.
square was it?
I don't remember because I just went on the pattern. It went. Let's see. You chained 206 or 226 or 246. That's for small, medium, and large. And it really depends. See, this pattern calls for
Yeah, I was
the
just wondering if it gave the dimensions of the finished square before you put the attach it to the sleeves.
let's see. Maybe it does. Mm-mm, it doesn't. And I didn't measure it. I would have to measure it. And the trim was 5 rows of double crochets. So I didn't have a pattern for the skirt, but I wanted a skirt. So what I did was I first started with double crochets, and I did 3 rows of double crochet. Then I did the 4th row in the back loop, which gave me this ridge so it would fold and look normal. And then I did 3 more across there. Now, when I got to when I was crocheting it, I this was the beginning and this was the end. And so actually it was a loop. So no, I started on this part. I did this 3, then this one, and the back loop, and then these 3. So what ended up happening was when I got to this point, then I hooked them together, and then I did them all hooked together. So I had this opening for hey, get out of there, little butt. Um, so I had the opening to put the elastic, and yes, that's underwear elastic. I buy that because I
Right,
like how
doesn't
stretchy.
matter.
Yeah. So then I started the pattern. Now this was a pretty good sized rectangle, and that's all I did was make a rectangle straight down. Um, and then when I got to the end, I ran out of yarn. That yarn right at the very end, the very last row, I ran out of it. I'm like, oh no. Now what do I do? I want a border. So I went and got 2 cakes of the Mandela sparkle in the exact same colors. I was so shocked. It had the exact same colors, but it was the sparkle, and you can't tell. And so I did on the bottom. I did the 5 rows, and then I did a shell on the bottom, and that's the skirt.
Hey, JJ, welcome in.
Hey JJ. So yeah, so that's um, and it looks like I went out on it, but it's the elastic that's pulling it. It was a rectangle. So I didn't add to it at all. But yeah, that's how the skirt was made. So I don't actually have the exact pattern, but I just did the same. I used the same pattern, and I made it wide enough to fit me. And it is kind of big on me. I'm going to have to go in and take up the elastic because I've lost so much weight that I'm going to have to go and pull this and make the elastic a little bit tighter. So, yeah, but that is how I did this. And let me show you where did I put the dress? Oh, it fell. So I'm going to show you this close up so you can see. Um, so these were double crochets, and then here I just started right off of this, and I was skipping one or two. So I added to it a little bit, but not much. And it was just I just did this little shell, or not shell. It was 4 double crochets with a chain in the center, and I would skip 2 rows or 2 chains in between, and it ended up coming out perfect. And then at the bottom, I didn't put a chain. That was just the bottom of it. So I mean, I didn't put anything on it. I just ended it with that same stitch, the double crochet, and that's how I made it. And this was made with loops and threads, um, Jasper Ocean. Um, this was the yarn that I won on Missy's Live in January. I had to buy 4 more skeins of it because um, my skirt would have only been this long if I had it on that, and I wasn't never going to wear it if it was that short. It would have been a shirt and not a skirt, or not a dress. So I just bought 4 more and made it longer. It still wasn't quite as long as I wanted it to be, but it's okay. It goes pretty much past my knee. So if anybody wants these patterns, this one I already have. I already made a PDF file for this one.
Hey, Larry.
Hey, Larry, on my computer. And this one I can scan it into my printer and send somebody a PDF file, a PDF file if they want it. So I'm doing great. I finally got my fridge yesterday, got it all installed, was able to go back to the store and finish my groceries today. So, but yeah, so this is a full skein. I never used it because I wasn't sure if I was going to need it, so I bought it. I'll use this for something else. But it's the Mandela Sparkle. And the other was the sequin. I couldn't, they said they were out of stock when I was looking for it. And I couldn't even get it on the website, so that's why I went ahead and got the sparkle instead of the sequin. But you can't even tell. So, do you guys have any questions? I know a lot of people was asking for this, and I will put the information on on the Facebook where they were asking. They want the pattern. So if anybody does want the pattern, I do have them available. Like I said, they've been changed, so especially this one and the skirt. I created that myself, but this was the weirdest. The weirdest. I honestly thought that would be going around me, and I'm like, how's that gonna work? Yeah, I finally figured it out because it doesn't say. That's the weird thing is it doesn't say.
Lacey said she'd like to get the patterns.
You would? Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing. Okay. I'm not on YouTube. Let me switch over onto YouTube.
Yeah.
Let's see. I hadn't opened up the
hi to everybody. If I
side
didn't
yet.
say hi to you, sorry. Hi.
Right. Okay. Now I can see everybody. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Lacey. Yes, and I can get the patterns to you, Lacey, and anybody else who wants it. But this pattern was just so weird because, okay, so it started off the top. I'm like, okay, this is the top. Well, when you think about the top, and it doesn't say anything about the straps, why is my computer saying it's low battery? Did I not plug it in? Maybe that's the problem. Okay, you've got yourself all wrapped around. Am I not plugged in? Oh, thought I was. I am plugged in. What is going on? Am I plugged? Oh, now I'm plugged in. I clicked it. When I moved everything around, I forgot to click it on the power on the power strip. No wonder. Okay, now it's bright. All right, so this is so weird because yeah. Okay, so this says the top. Okay, that's what it says, but it doesn't say anything about this being the straps. Nowhere on this. So I'm sitting here making this rectangle, and it doesn't say anything about this as the straps at all. Then it says reattach your yarn here. So that's what I did. And then it goes over here and it has you to start doing it. And I'm like, and then it says to go to the skirt after 12 rows or 14 rows. And I'm like, well, I don't understand. What is it saying? Because it's not saying, it doesn't say to connect. It says to start here, but it doesn't say to connect to this. Nowhere. And I was so confused. I looked at it and I read it. I looked at it and I read it. It drove me crazy for like 2 days. I could not figure it out. I went to my knitting and crocheting group, and I went to the lady who is probably 20 years older than me, and I said, I need your help. And she looked at it and looked at it for like 10 minutes, and she goes, oh, that's the straps. And I'm like, okay, that's the straps. And then it all clicked. But then it was like I said, I had to add to it because it was not. There was no way I was going to wear it that low. And it doesn't even look like the same dress because of the way I changed the skirt part. But that's okay. Yeah. But it turned out really
Everybody
cute.
writes patterns different. Some people write patterns better than others. It's like they could show you how to do something. When it comes to writing it down, there's things they forget.
Well, yeah. I always like to try to write a pattern like I understand it. And I don't like to leave out stuff, but sometimes I think I probably put too much emphasis, too much information, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. Because this literally
Now,
does
I
not
have read
explain.
patterns that I would shied away from because they were overly wordy. And not over explained, just overly wordy. It's like, okay, instead, you could have just put, instead of putting a double crochet, one double crochet, one, you could just say 5 double crochets and just, instead of breaking it down into one stitch each. I mean, I'm slow, but I'm not that slow.
Right. Well, that's why this one was so much easier for me, because even if I couldn't follow along with all of this, I had this. And I can read
those confuse me. I do not do well with them. I know what the symbols mean, but when it comes to reading them, I just don't do well. I do better if I'm going either a written pattern or watching somebody do it.
Right. And I was going with the pattern, but I didn't have to. By the time I got through this one time, I wasn't reading the pattern anymore. I would go back to it, but then that started confusing me. I'm like, no, I'm going to stick with the diagram because it's, to me, it's so easy. Let me show that again. If I can get it close enough. Can you guys see? Yeah, okay. To me, it's so easy to see that this is a chain, two double crochets, a chain, five double crochets, five chains, and so on and so on.
Oh no! See, this one I would not have problems with this one. This one
Right.
is
And
it's pretty simple. You get anything
right.
more complicated than this, it is
Mhm.
keeping track of stuff and it messes. It's I think it's because I don't have the opportunity to just sit down for a whole entire hour and work on something. It's more
Right.
like I've got 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there, and
Right.
when I'm trying to follow it like that, I get lost.
Now
So
this is, I'll tell you one thing that I always do if I'm following a pattern is I get in my notebook next to me and I write down all the rows. So as I finish it, I check off
oh
that
yeah, no,
row.
I do a tick sheet on a post-it note when I'm working on something if I'm going by a
Yeah,
pattern.
I always do that. Because this skirt had 64 rows. And I think I did more than six. In fact, I know I did more than 64 because my skirt's longer. My dress is longer than this. So, but I didn't have to make that tick list um, after after I got done with it one or two times because I could
It's
see it. It was
repetitive, yeah. See, I would do that as well. I would just be automatic. Mary, yes, I have seen that, and that is why I've never made one.
yeah, I've probably seen it. I don't know for sure, but I probably have. I do have. I will tell you, I have some. I do
They're
have
beautiful
some
when you get
books.
done with them, but I don't think that I'm that dedicated. That would
Right.
take
Let
me
me.
ages.
Oh, my dog is hooked to me, and he's right there. I'm going to show you this book I got. And it's, if I can grab it without dropping everything, and it's got some beautiful, beautiful patterns, but I don't think I'll ever make any of them because they are um, very, very difficult to understand or to, yeah. Okay, so this book, it's Sue Whiting book, and some of her patterns are amazing. They're beautiful, but when I started looking at the written pattern, I'm like, ugh. I think this is the right one. Is this the right book? I don't know if this is the right book. She does. Okay, yes, it is. So she does have diagrams, and that is would be how I would be able to do it. But as you go through some of these patterns, I was looking at. Okay, so there's a dress in here, and it was beautiful. And I thought, oh, I want to make that dress. It was a sundress. But when I started looking at the pattern, I'm like, no, I'm no, because her written is not as clear as the diagram. Like that's her diagram right there. That's not a diagram. You can't.
That's just a picture.
It's just a picture. It's not really a diagram. So, I mean, that's the diagram, but it doesn't. It. Yeah, I can't do that one, the way it is. But let me. Oh, here's the dress. I mean, that is a beautiful dress.
That is pretty.
I mean, I love the bottom, but the and I don't know if she had a diagram. So she has a picture, She shows the top. She shows the bottom. She shows the midriff part and that part, and she shows the whole dress. No diagram.
Now I wonder if that midriff part, if that is motifs that are put in, made separately and then put together, or if it's made on the dress itself.
It's made on the dress. I already read it.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's. I'm almost positive that it is. Yeah, it is. You can see how it is hooked. How it is. These are chains, and then you hook it onto the chain as you crochet. So it's really, really wordy. If you can look at, I mean,
Yeah.
this is
It's
how much
super
words
easy.
for one row, one
Yeah.
round.
That's what
So
I mean. That to me, I get lost in that, and I don't find it as enjoyable.
right. It's okay. So row 5, slip stitch across and into first chain space. 3 chain counts as first treble. 1 treble, 2 chain, and 2 treble into same chain space. 2 chain, 1 double crochet into next double crochet. 2 chains, miss the next chain space. 2 trebles, 2 chains, and 2 trebles into the next. I mean, that's just, and that's not even the motif. That's just the top part. So the motif, there is small motif, and then there's large motif, upper motif, and then
The
the
ones for the trim, yeah, probably.
uh
Oh,
huh.
Larry, I'm sorry, you're feeling bad.
Oh, I'm sorry, Larry. Take care of yourself. Yeah, so that is just, it's too. So there's the small motif, the large motif, and the small motif. Let's see, the lower motif. Um. Oh wait, maybe the motifs are done different, separate. Make and join 16 large motifs to form a loop as follows. Leave top 5 points free. Okay, it is done different, separately. Join side 5 point. Yeah, that's too much for me. But it's a beautiful dress.
If he gets too loud, let me know.
Okay,
He's decided to be vocal tonight.
okay.
Hey, Greg, how you doing?
Hey, Greg, welcome in. Yeah, so these are really cool pictures, but every single one of her patterns is super, super, super wordy. So that I'll probably never make anything out of it. But yeah, but I've got these ones for you guys if you want anyone who wants one. They're really easy to make and easy to make it the way you want it. Okay, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so that is how those were put. And let me write these down. Who wanted? Oh, let me get that out. Here, let's get it small paper.
I go through so many post-it notes.
Well, this isn't a post-it note, but it's a just the size of a post-it, but they're not sticky. But it's a big. I buy them big ones. Okay, so Lacey wanted one, right?
Yeah. Wow, that is a super tall pen. in the camera angle. Look how big it looks.
I know. It's like,
It
whoa,
looks
it's
like
big.
right with a
It's
wand.
well,
But
it's this camera is less than 12 inches from the table.
yeah,
That's why.
it's just the visual. I mean, it was just funny.
Mm-hmm. It
It
looks
looks like the
huge.
pin's like 3 times the size of your hand.
Yeah. So we got lacy lavender, and then I'll have to wait and see if more people. I will put it up in the Mishi's group as well as on mine. If anyone wants patterns, I will give them to them. So yeah. And let's see what else have I been doing. Oh, I'm making a blanket for my son. I need to make 14 12-inch by 12-inch squares of 4 colors. So I've got, I'm on the last black square. I've got 5 green squares, and I have to finish the rest of the green, and then I've got the red and the off-white to do. And then hook it all together and do a border around it. And he asked me to do it, but this is his birthday gift. He probably won't get it by his birthday, but you never know. It depends on how much time I spend doing it. So we will see. So yeah, let's see what else have I been doing. Oh, what else have I been crocheting? Oh, I crocheted that other skirt and cardigan, and I didn't have a pattern for that, and I didn't make a pattern. The one that was made out of the, what color was that? That bright orange, looked like the Southwest. I know I still had a skein or a part of a skein of it, but I don't see it from here. I've moved everything around. If you guys can see, I'm different in a different spot. I used to be facing that direction towards that shelf there. Now I'm facing this direction. Every few months I do that. I've had this room as my craft room for, well, I guess it's been more than a couple months. I've had this for my craft room for 4, maybe 5 years. And I was first facing the same way I'm facing right now, but I was closer to the wall. And then I was facing over this direction. Then I was facing that direction. Then I was facing this direction. And now I'm facing back to this direction again. But the table, and I changed chairs. This chair's bigger than my old chair. And I don't have as much room from this direction as I do this direction. And so I was having a hard time getting around my table because I had to push the table out further for the chair. So I went ahead and I turned it. I only have a small area to go this way, and I don't need that much because it's just where my yarn is and my nail stuff. But I have a much bigger area to go around this direction. But now I have my paints on this side of me instead of this side of me, which is okay. That doesn't bother me to have my paints on the other side. I prefer it actually to be on the right side because I'm right-handed. And my garbage is still on the left side. It used to be on the right side.
That gets Bill so bad because he does not understand it. And maybe other people are not like this. I am right-handed, but I always pull my yarn from the left. My working yarn ball is always to the left of my body.
Yes, same here. Mine's always on the left.
Every time I try to do it from the right, I end up getting tangled in it for some reason. And he goes, well, you're
Right.
right-handed, so it should be on the right side. And I was like, well, that just don't work for me.
Right. Because you got yourself stuck, buddy. He's wrapped
No,
around my
no,
chair.
I'm free.
Well, he's not free now. Oh, he wants to. Do you want to go or do you want to stay? Yeah, he wants to go. Let me let him out.
Should I go or should I stay now?
Not stay. No, he wants
There,
me to go
Greg,
with
now
him.
that can be stuck in your head.
Yeah. Oh, now he's looking at me like, excuse me, you're supposed to come out with me. Oh, he went on. So, you like this leash?
That is pretty cool.
The first leash that we got him, he started to chew on it, and he had chewed halfway through it. So, I got this leash, and it's paracord inside a chain, and he's never chewed on it, not one time.
Also, keep
Well,
it
he
from
tried.
twisting up to the chain links because chain links will twist after a while. So
Yeah,
that
and this won't.
Yeah,
Yeah, this
it's
doesn't
actually kind
twist
of cool.
up. Yeah, and this is on a swivel, so this part turns.
Only time Cash is on
So,
his leash is when we have to take him to the vet.
Royce is on a leash a lot. He is leash trained.
Well, I
I
told Bill I need to put him on the leash at least every couple of months just to keep him used to it. He's good on a leash. He minds really well. He doesn't pull or anything.
well,
But I told him we need to keep him in that habit.
he pulls for Ron. If he pulls for me, I give him a jerk back, like, no, you're not gonna do that. So, but he does pull for Ron. But he
But the
goes on
same
these
thing
walks.
that Daddy spoils and lets him get away with stuff, and Mommy doesn't.
Right, exactly, because he Ron takes him on a walk. He has to be on the leash. Um, I have when I take him anywhere like the vet or anything, he has to be on a leash. And at night he sleeps with us, and at night he has his leash on him in the bed. And the reason is I put this part over just over my hip so that if he starts to move around like he's going to get off the bed, it wakes me up. So because if not, I won't know he's getting off the bed. And so until he's out of this little thing because of our daughter, just like he used to never whine at me for 2 years, he never whined at me to get in this room, but then now he does. And so he has to be on, and he has to be on a leash in my craft room because he will go around and yank stuff off of all the shelves. So I have to keep him close so he can't do that. But he just wanted out. He's I don't know if he's on my chair or if he went outside. So, but I think this is going to be it. I just wanted to go over those patterns, explain them, and yeah, show you guys the patterns. And like I said, I'll share. These are okay. So another thing, this is a free pattern on linebrand.com, but it's not on the website right now. It may come back again or it may not. Good night, Larry.
Night, Larry.
Um, it may or may not come back. I know it was on there last summer, and it's printable, and it's a free pattern. This was a free pattern I found online, and so I didn't have to pay for the pattern. It was free, and so I was able to cut and paste it into a PDF file and make it a file. So, all
Good
right.
night, Sandra.
So I'm gonna say goodnight. Thank you guys for coming. I know it was kind of boring, or at least to me. I guess it wasn't boring, but
I didn't think
I
it was
mean,
funny.
I was just going over patterns. But
Well, thank you, Mary.
Yes, thank you. And you guys all have a good night. And Mary, if you want that pattern, let me know. Um, and or anyone else. And you guys have a good night and hope to see you on Thursday night. Bye everyone.
Bye, everybody.
And thank you, Annie, for coming.
Oh, you're welcome. Have fun.
Uh-huh.